about a crime, we're going to talk about the most known killers in history.
Our viewers are going to be frightened from these psycho killers.
At first, I am going to talk about Elizabeth Bathory. Elizabeth Bathory was a countess from the renowned Bathory family of Hungarian nobility, and she has been labeled the most profiled female serial killer in history. She is, nevertheless, remembered as the Blood Countess or Blood Queen. After her husband's death, she and 4 collaborators were accused for torturing and killing hundreds of girls and young women, with one witness attributing to them over 600 victims, though the number for which they were convicted was 80. Later, writing about the case have led to legendary accounts of the countess bathing in the blood of virgins in order to retain her young and subsequently. Some witnesses report having she traces of torture and dead bodies, some of which were buried in graveyards, and others in unmarked location. According to the testimony of the defendant, Elizabeth Bathory tortured and killed her victims not only at her home castle but also on her properties in Sabatar, Bratislava and Vienna, and even between these localizations. I'm going to talk about El Hombre del Saco. 1910, Gator, Almería, Francisco Ortega El Moruno was a tuberculosis patient who was searching desperately for a cure of his disease. For this, he went to the healer Agustina Rodriguez, who sent him to the barber and healer Francisco Leona. Apparently, Leona already had criminal records and, in return of 3,000 coins of gold, revealed the cure. Drink the emanating blood of a child's body and spread warm butter on his chest. Leona and Julio Hernandez, Agustina's son, offered to find the child, and they kidnapped Bernardo González Parra, a 7-year-old child from La Rioja. Then they put the child in a bag and they took him to a lonely house. The murder of little Bernardo was this way. After took him out of the bag, he was stunned. The criminals made him a cut in the armpit, from where El Moruno drank his emanated blood mixed with sugar. Leona had took, while the child is still alive, his body fat and spread it on the chest of his client El Moruno. Julio Hernandez hit the little boy with a stone in his head, killing him. Afterwards, the dead body was hidden in a crevice covered with herbs and stones. When Leona and Julio were going to distribute the money, Leona tried to lie his accomplice Julio, but he told the police that he had seen the body of a child when he was chasing a partridge chickens. When he was arrested, he said that Julio had helped him. Finally, both confessed the crime, When the body was found, it had got the skull completely saturated. The healer, Leona, died in prison. The client, El Moruno, and Agustina, the other healer, were executed, and Julio was finally forgiven for being considered insane. The Spanish story of El Hombre del Saco, what means the man of the back, is based in this crime and in Francisco Leona.
Finally, I'm going to talk about Jack the Ripper. Jack the Ripper is the best known name given to an identified serial killer who was active around the White Castle district of London in 1888. Other nicknames used for the killer at the time were the Whitechapel Murderer and Leather Apron. Attacks ascribed to the Ripper typically involve female prostitutes from the slums whose throats were cut prior to abdominal mutilations. Anybody knows how many crimes he committed, but the canonical 5 Ripper victims are Marianne Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, and Mary Jane Kelly. They were vicious and grotesque murders. Nichols' throat was severed deeply and the lower part of the abdomen was ripped open. Chapman's abdomen was slashed open and the uterus was being removed. Stride and Eddowes were killed in the same night. The people call it the double event. Eddowes' kidney have been removed. Kelly's gruesomely mutilated body was discovered on her bed. Her heart was missing. Over the course of the Ripper murders, the police received 3 letters allegedly written by the murderer. In the Dear Boss letter, the name Jack the Ripper was first used. The Saucy Jackie postcard mentions that 2 victims were killed. Double event this time. The From Hell letter came with a small box with a half of the Eddowes' kidney. Jack the Ripper was never found.
My cat is so nervous. Maybe he's here.
What?